Good evening, friends. How are you doing? Welcome to tonight's live stream, TSW4 BR218. How's everyone doing tonight? It's a little bit hot. I'll give it that. First things first, can you hear me okay? And can you hear the game sound? Because the last stream that I did live, I forgot to kick the game sound off for the first 15 minutes, and we got from Preston to Lancaster with no sound. So I don't want to do that again. Not that we're going to Lancaster. Jason, good evening. How are you? Nice to see you again. David, you're here as long as the hotel Wi-Fi works, so maybe not very long. Well, thanks for coming back when you're on your holidays, David. Appreciate that. Bournes, good evening. How are you doing? So, 218. Let me get the correct window up. That might help me as well. So I thought on the first look we did, we were on Hamburg-Lübeck and we did a passenger run. So I thought, well, we'll do a freight run and we'll change the route as well. And we will do Dresden, I think. So if I just do it this way, we're on the PC again because it's early access. So back on the PS5 from tomorrow. So I have got services playable on these three routes. So we'll go to Nahverkehr Dresden. Sound check is good. Excellent. Let's pick one sort of morning, but not dark. What about reset to Dresden 9/11? Why don't we do that? Let's take off the dynamic weather as well. Then we don't get the fog. And let's get started. So we'll just do one run, I think, and then we'll see how it's going, because I might melt otherwise. It's been like this all day, hasn't it? Oh dear. Right, here we are. Right, let's see if I can remember how to get everything set up since yesterday when I last did it. We will knock that side. That's what I wanted. So, transmission, power on. The air compressor's already on. Train lights, but we haven't got anything on the back, so we don't need to worry about that too much. Turn that marker to white. The centre one is on. That's on white. Okay, that's good. So we can go back to that position. Brake key, of course. That always catches me out on these trains when I've not used them for a while. Did I turn the instrument lights on? Where is that? I didn't. The little tinker. Right, let's whack these up as well so I can see the PZB. And of course, since this morning when I was reporting that I had a look and couldn't find the CIFA and the PZB. Excuse me. I had a feeling it was in the back cab, but I kind of did this and didn't find it the first time. So I will show you where it is, because if you're on console, and generally a lot of people on console don't have a keyboard attached, this is the way that you've got to do it. So if you come into the back cab, like that, going through the wrong door, move the seat out of the way. This big hatch here is where it all happens. So if you come down here, PZB is there. and Sifa is there. So that's all you need to do. So you got to, well, unless you're already in this cab to start with, but I think pretty much you're going to be starting in the other end. So just keep that in mind if you want to switch those on manually. So we'll close that just before we get started. Let's just have another quick look at this, because it is something to kind of admire. I shouldn't be stood in the forefoot. We'll stand here, shall we? Then at least we won't get run over. It's a lovely looking thing. Got the exhaust there in full blow on the top. And we're putting it to use with some freight, so I'm quite looking forward to this one, because I haven't driven a freight yet with this. So we'll see what it's like. Get sat down. Good evening, Farah. How you doing? Right. Let me just turn that up so I can see it correctly. And what we'll do is this time we'll open the windows, shall we? It's a nice summer's day in June. And we'll take the brakes off. Just wait for them to release up there at the top, because it's a freight train, it might take slightly longer. Good evening, Huggy. How are you doing? You keep changing your name, don't you, KH? That's you, isn't it, KH? Sound is good, graphics are good. Is this a new engine on PC? This is a new engine, so this is early access. So this is on PC at the moment, but it comes out tomorrow for everybody. So PlayStation, Xbox, everybody can get their hands on it tomorrow. This is early access, as Jason says there. But you will need to already own Hamburg-Lübeck. I think I've got that right, haven't I, Jason? You will need that to be able to run it. Even though it does run on some of the other routes, you will need that at a minimum. Am I in forwards? Nope, I'm in neutral. That will help us. There we go. Right, let's try again. So we'll put it in notch 2 till this little transmission light goes out. There it goes, and then we can accelerate a little bit more. You can hear the engine coming up now. Thanks everybody for those likes, those early likes. Do appreciate that. There's only one tone of horn. Can you call that a horn? It's more like a squeak, isn't it? I don't really know what that is. It's a very unscary horn, isn't it, for a scary looking locomotive. The beast with the squeak. Let me just scroll through the brakes. We've got a direct brake, train brake, and a dynamic brake, which is interesting. We'll use the train brake though for this. Stace, good evening. How are you? You made it, Stace, at the beginning. Right, let's speed up a little bit, shall we? SNCF, good evening. How are you? Yeah, Hamburg-Lübeck is a requirement, so everybody just keep that in mind in case you haven't got Hamburg-Lübeck. So this will be my third run, I think, but it is, as I mentioned, this is the first one I've done with the freight, and I do like running the freight in Germany more than the passenger. I don't know why that is. I'm not a big fan of the stop-start passenger services. I think that's what it is. I don't mind the ICE stuff, but the freight is very good on the German routes. I don't think I've run on this route for a long time. This is Nahverkehr Dresden. So long old train. There's that seefer going on. It's going to catch me out again, as it did in the first look. It's just a little bit unfortunate, that. Because I do like to go outside the train and have a look around. I don't tend to just sit in the driver's seat the whole time. I like to do a little bit of both. But unfortunately, as you saw this morning, it does catch you out if you're not careful. If you've got the safety systems on, that is. So we've got to go via first, which is in 5.4 kilometres. Glaubitz. I'm surprised actually we're in this PZB mode. I thought we'd be a bit slower than this. Not to worry, we'll manage. Acknowledge seefer, then take a look outside. Yeah, it seems quicker on this. I'm meant to have 30 seconds on it, but I don't trust it. Look at those exhaust fumes though. That's brilliant, that. What a great effect that is. Your lady friend calls you Huggy Bear. That's too much information, that. I don't want to know why. You keep growling at her. That's excellent. Farah, you bought so many routes recently and still haven't tried all of them. You did a steam run on Peak Forest earlier, very nice. Is that the first time you've played Peak Forest? Have you only just got that now, just recently? Well, you said you bought them, but is that the first time you've played it? It is a good route. That route lends itself as well to playing in winter quite well, with the snow on the ground. It's quite pretty. I'm a little bit like that with Train Sim Classic, because I've bought quite a lot in the sales, because the PC sales for TS Classic are on quite often. I've snapped a few things up while they've been on offer, and they're just sat there. And I think yesterday I played the Welsh Marches route for the first time. Loved it. I didn't even know I had it. I bought it and left it sat there, and I did a Class 47 rail tour, which was really nice. Really enjoyed it. It was the first time, yeah. It's too early for this sort of talk. Are you talking about Huggy Bear? I can tell with this that I'm pulling a very heavy train. It feels a lot different to the passenger one from this morning. It's accelerating much slower. It's quite heavy. Let some more fresh air in, I think. I'm glad we found those safety systems though. I was a little bit worried they'd been missed somewhere, but they were there all the time. They were just hidden. This is the problem when we had a time, didn't we, where we got a manual for each route and each loco DLC, and we don't always get that now. So the manuals on TS Classic are very good, because if you've not played a route for a while, you can pick the manual up and it will tell you about different locos and where the safety systems are, and different switches for different things that are particular to a certain loco. We don't always get that, unfortunately, with TSW. I think that's one of the things definitely that needs improving. Part of the development time should really include some sort of manual. I think, even if it's a one pager. Then at least we know where the basics are. But that's just one of my pet moans there. Heavier train means harder to stop, which also means a high chance of spadding. It does. You're exactly right. So I'm going to take it nice and easy. Good evening, Gilly. How are you doing? No Deltic tonight, Gilly. I suppose it is kind of like a Deltic, isn't it? It's a German version of. Got that kind of grunt about it. I'm worried about that CIFA now. I'll go back out there again once I've confirmed the CIFA. This is the first go via that we got. There's the CIFA, so let me just take you outside for another look. It used to be called the hang on, the little heart's got in the way on the screen. Pillsbury Doughboy at one time. Did I just get a break then? A penalty break? Not sure. No, something happened there. I'm not quite sure what it was. That's why we need a manual, you see. Yeah, doing alright. Thanks, Skilly, yeah. Big, red and noisy. Yeah, it'll have to do. Yeah. It does remind me of it, slightly. I know you like a Delta. Braking trains, yeah, I don't know what I did there. It made a noise as if the brakes were coming on, but it actually didn't. So I'm not really sure what happened. I'll have a look at that afterwards. Play it back. Thanks everybody for coming in and give me those thumbs up. And some good news. We're actually less than 100 subscribers away from 7,000. That's crazy. So we're getting there, bit by bit. I was actually thinking of trying to... It just depends on work, but I'm trying to do a train related stream, live stream, every Monday night if possible, going forward. Either in TSW or in TS Classic. because that's the game I'm sort of playing off stream the most. Both those two. So I wouldn't mind just doing that on Monday night. So if you're up for it, you can let me know. I've got so many different routes in both games. I think you know, we could easily cover quite a lot of stuff over the coming months. It looks nothing like it. It looks nothing like a Deltic. I know that. I know that, Huggy. I don't know whether to call you Huggy or KH now. I'm gonna call you KH because that's how I remember you. I was kind of relating it to the sort of the size of the thing. Because a Deltic always reminds me of a beast of an engine. Yeah, it's true. It's true, Stace. It's true. Oh wow, there's a big pause. Well, that was scary. I'm on the preview version still. I can't switch to the public version until you guys can get hold of it tomorrow. So we might get the odd stutter like that. Evening, Sean. How you doing? Didn't acknowledge the cipher fast enough. Full brakes, power off, but cancelled once you acknowledge it. Yeah. It might have been something like that. I might have just caught it. The good thing that I discovered this morning in the first look, I think we had 3 emergency brakes, and it's very, very easy to recover the train after one of those emergency brake applications. So that's one good thing, isn't it? As soon as you come to a stop, you can just release the PZB and wait for the brakes to come off, and that's pretty much it, and you're on your way again. Only takes a few seconds. So Priestvitz is next. 7.3 kilometers. Monday night stream with biscuits, yeah, biscuit talk, cake talk, that's all banned. Oh, don't set Jason off now, will you please? Look at him now. Any talk of bourbons is banned. Even Stay says not the biscuits. She doesn't turn up as often now, but every time she does, there's a discussion about biscuits. Who was it who brought that up? Was that Bournes again? Well, it really is stuttering. So the throttle is in notch 15, which is the top, and you can see we're going slightly uphill, and we're only getting 51 kilometers per hour. So it's really trying to pull the train. Hashtag custard creams for the win. Yeah, good evening, Sean. No worries. Welcome to the madhouse. Right, Jason, quiz question for you, because you've been playing this in the beta team. What is this light for? What does that translate to? This one. Because that light keeps coming on. Is that some kind of traction? And is that some kind of traction light or something? It illuminates every now and again, but I don't actually know what it's telling me. So, good evening, Animal. Oh, don't you start, Animal. Got a nice cab though, isn't it? It's not too dissimilar to the 155. It drives a lot like it. The 155's got a sort of larger desk, hasn't it, that kind of goes over to the left there. There's a lot of wasted space there. The desk is a bit more compact on this side. Jammy Dodgers. And all the routes in TSW4, scared of trying the foreign locos in case you can't drive them. You like the look of them, it's the train controls that scare you. Just give them a try. No one's gonna know, Huggy, honestly. Did you hear that? That was it again. Did you hear the little squeak? Let me just see what's happening. Let me turn the power off. The transmission light came on. And let me just wait a couple of seconds till it goes off again. There we go. And I think we can accelerate again. We can, so there's something with the traction. It's like something stopped working. And you have to take the power off and reapply it. That's what happened before. Answered my own question. Oh, okay. Yeah, what I was saying to KH there, Huggy Bear, just give them a try, because if you own some of the routes, and you will do, you'll at least own this route, won't you? Even if you've got the standard game, because this was one of the standard routes, I think, wasn't it? Just give it a go. Just do the tutorial before you start, because the other thing you'll find is that a lot of the locos on the German routes layer onto the other routes. So if you learn one loco, there's a good chance you can use the same loco on several routes. So you get to enjoy a few routes and just learn each loco in turn, each train in turn. These ones have got lots of buttons and switches, and there's lots of stuff going on, but even though they're there, you don't use half of them, or you don't need to anyway. So even though it looks a little bit scary, it's not. But if you use any of the DMUs or the EMUs, they're quite easy to drive. So they're a good starting point, certainly. We've not switched to the chocolate again now, have we, as well? We're not on a massive hill, are we? 0.5%. Yet it struggles a little bit. Right, we got 1.5 kilometers to this next go via. I'm just going to keep pressing the CFA button whilst I'm out here, then I don't get any disasters. Oh, which gear setting is it set to? That's actually a good point. Fast. Then fast. Should I have knocked that down to slow, do you think? That's what it defaulted to. It is picking up speed because we're on the flat again, look. Yeah, let's have a listen to it. Yeah, it could be. I did the tutorial back end of last week, so I can't remember what it said about the gearing. But you could be right, Sean, yeah. That might be why. It's picking up now, though. I wondered if the low gearing was for yard work, shunting, that kind of thing, but you could be right. It could be just for all freight. Almost a tank engine, yeah. Can you imagine if they could? They wouldn't make any money out of it, would they? There'd be so much to pay out in royalties, and that's even if they could afford the license to begin with. Wouldn't surprise me if they've tried, though. We're going downhill now, so it's not a problem. That's pretty impressive, that, isn't it? It's a nice looking thing. That's me spamming the button for the CFA nervously. That's why it came up. It looked as if I rang the signalman. $14 to go to the next go via. The smash button. Yeah. It of course means the little thumb, which doesn't sound so exciting, does it? Oh, there we go. So maybe that's me not catching the seefer quick enough, as Sean said. So if I take off the power, then reapply it, we're back in business again. That must be what it is. So you're probably right, Sean. Yeah, he's talking about smash the like button. He's done it again though. Thomas will never come to TSW. Yeah, probably. That's probably right. It's just too expensive. Confusion and delay. Why? What's Streamlabs saying to you? Oh, it's just telling you to. Oh, oh, look at that, Stace. It's telling you to get a channel membership. Now there's a surprise. I'm just winding you up. Bournes has took the lead there, you know. Bournes has broken the record for the longest continuous membership. There you go. Dossed up, going the other way. Actually, I had a 218 on the back as well. Your next door neighbour's got a Thomas the Tank Engine layout. That's brilliant. So you sat there in your upstairs window while you're watching Thomas go round and round. I should probably have stopped the train and used Sean's suggestion, change the gearing, but being as we're probably quite near the end and we're going a decent speed now, I won't change it on this run, but we'll keep that in mind for the next one. By changing gear whilst moving. Yeah, Yeah, that could be interesting, couldn't it? I'll stall it. That is true, Stace. Yes, that is true. Top trumps, now there's a thing. I've got some decent ones in a cupboard somewhere. I used to have the train ones when I was a kid. I don't know what happened to those, but I've got some now, but they're horror film characters, which are also quite good, but not as good as the train ones. You can probably still buy the train ones, can't you? Oh god, don't give Animal any one-liners, will you? You had the train and the... Oh yeah, the supercar ones, yeah, I remember them. Yeah. No word of a lie, I also had I mean, back in the 70s and 80s, they made top trumps out of everything, every subject, didn't they? I had Disney's Robin Hood top trumps, believe it or not. I'd like to know what the categories were though on the cards. No idea, can't remember. I definitely had them though. You had wrestling ones, Stace. They must be recent ones. Right, we've got 100 coming up. Thief again. Now this is where the prophecy of Jason comes in when he said a heavier train is harder to stop, which is really true. So we're already overspeeding. I don't want to put too much brake on. It'll take ages for the brakes to come off. Actually, this isn't that bad. For a freight train, this isn't that bad, the brakes coming off. Longest staff and biggest hats. Yeah, could have been. David had supercar top trumps. Best cars were Lamborghini and the Jaguar XJS. Oh, the XJS, yeah. Stop talking about a lifespan. You might get what you wish for straight away. Can you tell I'm being a little bit cautious at the minute? I've realised I don't know this end of the route very well at all, so I'm wondering when it's going to actually... Oh, there is a red coming up, so let's start bringing it down, shall we? We're going to get 1000 hertz magnet anytime now. There it is. But we're already under that, so we're good. Let's just make sure we stop for this red. I'm not going to talk about biscuits or anything until we get past this red. We've still got 11 kilometres to go to Dresden Mitte, so there's a little bit of a way to go. Where's the red light? So I'm going to stop short because that is the most sensible thing to do. Especially with you guys in the chat winding me up. The red is just there on the right, as you can see. We could be waiting for that Dosto to come in, actually. Sean's shouting Spad now as well. Get you all back for this. How close can I get? Yeah, I'm trickling along a little bit, so I might be alright. Oh, we're probably waiting for this guy who's coming rushing through, look. But that's who we're waiting for. Or this guy. Look at that, that's some traffic there, isn't it? What a great scene that is. So much traffic in one spot, and this is just a service, this is not a scenario. So that's quite good how that's all worked out. We'll just move up very slowly. That's miles away. I'm still moving. I haven't come to a full stop yet. It's a good job I like you lot, isn't it, really? Yeah, it'd be easy not to. That's the one I've been holding up, yeah. They've probably all been waiting for me, yeah. Yeah, it's like I always say, Animal, though. PZB mishaps are fine. Look at the speed of this chap. PZB, oh, that's nice, a Vectron. That's very nice. The mishaps are fine, as long as you learn from them. It's not an PZB is not an easy system to pick up. There's so many different elements, but you know, I know you joke with me, but I'm not scared to get tripped up by it, as long as I understand what I did, you know. And whilst we've been talking, we got the green, so we're good. And this 500 hertz magnet will clear at this green signal. Hopefully. Here we go. So let's release that. Just borrow the binoculars to see it. A cheeky sod. Of course I like you all. I'm just kidding. I'm just pulling your legs. He likes those that are members. Stop winding her up, Points. You just turn it off, Animal, do you? No, I could hear the Seafer from outside that time. Probably because we're just trickling along. The Animal, you've been played train simulators for quite some time, haven't you? I thought you would have been one of those that uses BZB. I haven't tried it in TS Classic. I've not really driven anything non-UK yet in Train Sim Classic. I've got to admit, even though I own some of the German stuff, I've kind of just kept it UK for the most part. Now then, Richie, how are you? Thanks for coming in. I've got it, Animal. Yeah, I thought I just had this impression that you were like, you know, a veteran train simulator player, and you'd always used it. Nothing wrong with not using it as long as you get your money's worth. That's the main thing. Weltering, yeah, it is a bit that way, isn't it? What time is it now? 7:30, and it's still as bad. Whoops. Sometimes do that on the Xbox controller when I'm trying to zoom in. Like I was saying this morning, the texturing and everything on the unit is really well done. Not just the way it drives, just the way it looks as well. It's quite nice. You're not too bothered about the realism. Playing it a long while, classic, yeah. Oh, you still use the full hood, yeah. That's interesting, that. That's what it's there for, though, if you want to use it. In TSW, I quite like this hood. I did think with the German trains that even though I like this hood, I might struggle with the PZB, because you remember with the old hood down in the bottom right hand corner, you used to get all the PZB lights, didn't you, etc. But I've just come used to more and more just looking down at these and actually, you know, playing it like a real driver, if you will, and looking down at what's in front of me rather than trying to rely too much on the hood. I don't think I could completely go hoodless on a lot of these routes. But this minimal information we've got now in this version is quite nice. Yeah, this is Dresden, Richie, this that we're on now. So the first look this morning was on Hamburg Lübeck, which was a passenger service. So you need Hamburg Lübeck for the 218 itself, but then it layers onto Dresden, and it layers onto Maintelborn as well. I've not played it on Maintelborn yet. .3 kilometers long. Wow. Oh yeah, I was just going to say, Jason, yeah, post that link again. So have a look at that, Richie. That's a good asset, that one. Because it is confusing. The more DLCs we get, it does get a bit difficult to keep track. I'm trying to remember if the article actually mentioned Dresden. I can't remember. I'm trying to think back now. Maybe it didn't. Oh, it lays onto 6 routes. Oh, right, so maybe I've not got all the routes then on the PC. That's why we can only see 3. So I will get it on PS5 tomorrow. PS5, I've got all the DLC on PS5, so that'll be good then. Yeah, correct, Animal. Yeah, but I've only got 3 of those routes, 3 of those 6. honestly though, it's fun to drive this one. If you're planning to pick it up tomorrow, I don't think you can go wrong really. I imagine it was KH, yeah. I'll throttle down a little bit. Actually, with the windows open, that seefer is quite difficult to hear every time. So let's just try and prove it. Yeah, you see, a lot of outside noise there. It's a nice DLC, Richie. Yeah, it does provide a lot of extra stuff. And I was saying this morning, I've not driven Hamburg-Lübeck for a long time, so it got me back on Hamburg-Lübeck as well. I don't think I've been on Dresden since a good few months when I last ran the Vectron, I think it was. Right, I'm not going to go thundering into Dresden for obvious reasons. Rhine-Ruhr, Osten, Hauptstrecke, Rhine-Ruhr and Ruhr-Siegnorf. Oh really? Yeah, I didn't quite realise those. That's good then. I mean, Ruhr-Siegnorf is still... That's still one of my favourites. I think that's a really good run there. And this, like I said from the beginning, this does remind me a lot of the 155, so I bet it substitutes in for that, doesn't it? I'm just going to drop the power down coast. Got a 60 coming up actually, so let's prepare early, I think. Okay, Huggy, take it easy. Thanks for coming in. I think it does layer on the Autobahn, doesn't it? I'll have to try it tomorrow when I've got all the routes on the PlayStation. Right, so we've got 2.1 kilometers to stop this time. Oh, it doesn't layer on there. Yeah, this is a freight service, this. Yeah. Quickly show you the back. There we go. It's a heavy one as well. Small man, thanks for subscribing. Welcome, welcome. I haven't been on main specimen barn for ages. Containers. You do not like containers, animal? Any timetable runs on this train for the base TSW4 maps? The base maps. So this is Dresden, which is a base map, I think, as I recall it. However, you do need Hamburg Lübeck, small man, to be able to get the 218 working in the first place. So if you've got Hamburg Lübeck, you'll then be able to run it on a couple of the other routes. Gets a bit confusing, but if Jason, do you want to just post your link again, just in case small man missed it? Have a look at the link that Jason's going to post, small man. It'll tell you what runs on what route and any requirements you need to run it, etc. That will probably make sense then. Or you don't have it. Is it on rapid transit? Oh my word. Does anything run on rapid transit? Actually, there's a 185 on rapid transit, isn't there? Thanks, Jason. Yeah. I've been impressed with the traffic on this route during this run. I don't know what you guys think. But I think that was really nice to see. Right, there's a sneaky red, but fortunately there is a little bit of a gap. There we go, so that's our freight run. Quite enjoyed that. A platinum medal, we didn't do too bad. No spads. It was all good. A little bit of speeding, which I think was right at the beginning. But yeah, that was pretty good. Let me just see if there's anything quick that we can run. Let's have a look on. I'll tell you what. Let's go to Let's go into mine Telborn, because as you were saying, Animal. So in my case on the PC, if I do it this way and go into timetable and choose the 218, it shows me that I've got these 3 routes available for it. So as Jason was saying, there's actually 6 routes available if you own them. That is. So on PlayStation, I've got them all, but on here I've just got these. So let's have a look at mine Telborn. I think they're all long services. So let's run part of one, shall we? What about this one? Aschaffenburg to Miltenberg, and we'll turn the weather off again. Put it on custom. We'll give this a go because this is passenger. Yeah, platinum medal, yeah. Does anybody bother about the medals? I'm not really that fussed, I've got to admit. Trophies, yes, but not medals. 2 speed hits. Right, so we're on a passenger this time. So, as Sean was saying, so you can check the gears on this back wall. So it's on fast at the moment, so we'll leave it on fast this time. Can't open the doors till I've got it in neutral, I think. Yep, there we go. Right, let's get everything set up once again. So transmission power, we need train lights this time. Signal lights is fine. Turn that to white. Put that on. White, and then we've got instrument lights there. So brake key is next. Let's turn those up. Then what I'll do is I'll just show you once again in case you missed it at the beginning because it's not obvious. If you want the safety systems and you're not using a keyboard, just go along to the back cab. And then once you come through here, move the seat out of the way. And they're in this hatch here in the back cab. So just whoops. I'll try that again. That's on. And see if it's there. So that's where they are. But if you've got a keyboard, obviously shift enter and do it that way. But most console players are not going to have a keyboard, so. Can you walk through the engine room? You can only kind of go this far into this bit. You can't get through these doors, unfortunately. It's a bit of a shame. Same on the opposite side. Exactly the same on the opposite side. So we'll close that. Lock the doors. Stay out of cab 2, definitely for you, yeah. Right, let's get the brakes off. Though we've got a red light at the end of the platform. I've done it again, not put it in forwards. That always helps, doesn't it? We'll edge along a little bit. There we go. We got the green. So already, you see, on a passenger working, it accelerates really, really quickly. Whereas it was struggling before with the weight of the train. bouncing around a little bit. Yeah, so the main Spessart barn goes off up that way, doesn't it? I must get back on there. I think we'll add that to one of our Monday night streams, shall we? For the future. As well as learning how to keep to the speed limits, that might be a good thing. How fast does it go in gear 1? Yeah. Well, the gearing's automatic, of course, but there's 15 notches of throttle on this one. And the platform is just the other side of this tunnel. I noticed today as well there was a big set of fixes for various routes. I've not looked at the patch notes yet. So if you've got TSW and you've not had a look at that yet, go and switch on and download that. We seem to be getting a few more sort of regular patches now, don't we? Which is good. Bit severe with the braking, but nobody getting on or off? There's no point waiting. They're all going the same way, these. Everyone likes it upstairs, look. Everybody's up there. And then downstairs, we've hardly got anybody. Not in that section, anyway. Plenty at this side. Richie wants a honk. It's more like a squeak. I'll just warn you. It's just one tone as well. There's no low and high. Are you two still arguing? They saw the braking and decided against it, yeah. That's true. There we go. It's got me again. So, emergency stop it is. There's something that looks so beefy, the horn is pathetic. Yes, it's like a squeak, isn't it? Did it have much clag? A little bit. Gotta watch that seefer, it'll get you. German horns hurt my soul. I think the strangest one is for me the 37. I've always said it. The 37's a little bit. It's to me like it's done on a Casio keyboard. You know, it's that very kind of. I don't know. Synthetic, is that the right word? It's very manufactured. I've never really liked it on the 37. It's a bit. It's like this one. It seems a little bit underdone. Nobody's getting on or off, are they? Which is a bit strange. That smoke effect, though, the exhaust is really good. $170 horn, yeah. Yes, yeah. So you agree with me, Animal, about the 37? I mean, I can only compare the ones that I've heard, and obviously a 37 is quite common, even up here, especially East Lancs Railway. It's not that far from me. And I know it definitely doesn't sound like that. Artificial, that's the word I was looking for, yeah. Not synthetic. Got some nice looking routes though, haven't we? This is quite nice, this one. This is fairly recent, isn't it? We've not had this one very long. Train behind being driven by a professional. There is that, yeah. I'm just standing in. So off to the right there, we go down to the docks, which you can get plenty of use out if you've got the 363 and main Spessart barn. You can go off down to the docks there, to the port. I think that was a Rivet DLC, wasn't it? Not the 363, the other one. Is it the 401? Told you I get mixed up on all my German numbers. It's the other shunter that we've got. It's definitely the 4 something. It's the 401 or the 405. Someone tell me. But I did mention the 363, which was on. It is on this route now. It comes with this DLC actually, but I think it first came out for Rose Ignored, didn't it? As in the DB red livery. as a local DLC. And I prefer it on that route. Yeah, that's fine, fire that, yeah. No problems. Richie, you and the 363 aren't friends yet. It takes a little bit of getting used to, doesn't it? Because it's one of those ones where you've got to run it up and run it down. And the brakes are also a bit weird. Oh, an animal doesn't like it. Farah doesn't like it. Right, so we're gonna have to play the 363 then. You're gonna have to keep me honest and remind me if we're gonna do these on Monday nights. We'll try. Well, we'll use Jason's spreadsheet. We'll try and cover over, like, you know, a bigger series. We'll try and cover the lot if we can. It's probably going to be a long series, especially if we're doing some TS Classic in the middle of it as we go. But yeah, we should probably do that. Because I definitely struggle, you know, with so many routes in TSW, so many DLCs. I do struggle sometimes to know or to choose what to actually do. We're so spoilt for choice, you know. So we'll learn it. Why don't we? Oh, we've got people getting off, look. It's a popular place. You derailed it at 5 miles an hour. That's brilliant. Oh, it wasn't the G6. I did wonder when you said the G6. The G6, the G6 is very nice, and that one as well does actually take. It does take a little bit of getting used to the G6, but once you get the hang of it, it's quite a nice one. Monday Night Mayhem, that'll be it. Yeah, it definitely will. You'll have to get a SPAD counter going, because there could be a few if we're playing it regularly. $37 and a 31 you stick to. The 31 is one of my favourite British DLCs, I have to admit. Richie, you do a rotation, helps you decide. Yeah. Yep. And I was kind of suggesting earlier that one thing I would like to see in the UI going forward, we had it. I think we had it as part of TSW3. Do you remember next to the routes we had the little country flags? But I think they could go one step further, because we've got the usual countries, but we've also, since we've had Austria, and we've also got Japan coming up, haven't we, with the Tadami line, which I know release date hasn't been announced yet for that, but we know it's coming. So, you know, we should put the world back into Train Sim World, I think. And I think at the top level, I think it would be nice to be able to pick that country's flag, and then, you know, go into the German flag and see all the German stuff. I think that'd be useful. I think the amount of DLCs we've got now, depending on how many you own, it looks quite cluttered, that screen. And it's all, you know, it's all just a picture of a loco, isn't it? With a very small sort of written title of whatever route it is at the top. I think in TSW3 it was like a one line, wasn't it, per route, which I actually found easier to look at, I think. So I wouldn't mind some updates on that. Yeah, France and Canada. Yeah, I was talking about the ones that have come since we've been in TSW4. But yeah, we have got France, we've got Canada. You see what I mean, though? There's an opportunity to have quite a few flags on that top page, and it is Train Sim World. So we should kind of, I don't know, we should kind of call that out a little bit. I think there is a little bit of Italy as well. You're right, yeah. Do you know what I mean? It seems like you've got to do a little bit. I mean, it doesn't take you ages, but it seems like you've got to do a little bit of searching sometimes to find the route that you want. But I do find it quite handy that you can actually choose by whatever train or loco or unit you want as well. That's quite handy. If you want to run the 31, you can go straight to the 31. I think it's both. I think the intention is both. I know what you mean. The world isn't. You can interact with the world, but I also think that the world is to do with the locations as well. And for any new players, you can understand why they would make that connection. Anyway, it's just a suggestion. I think, certainly I would think that's much easier for me to sort of pick and choose routes with a little bit less work. Right, we'll pick it up a little bit because we've got 4 kilometres. Yeah, so you see, technically, you could kind of have the Scottish flag, the English flag, and then hopefully, as you said, the Welsh flag. You wouldn't necessarily need to put a British flag, would you? You could kind of go down to that level. Don't know whether they would do that. When are we getting a Welsh route? I think it's about time we got a Welsh route, isn't it? Because there's so many really good ones in Train Sim Classic for Wales. Just caught the Seafer again there. Paddington to Swansea. I did know that was coming. I was waiting. As soon as we got to Wales. Yeah, yeah, very picturesque. I think that's what I thought about the when I was saying I did the Welsh marches route in TS Classic yesterday. I thought that was very picturesque. That was a good one. So we could recreate any of those for me. I'd be quite happy with that. Somebody in the opposite platform. And 6 minutes late, so I've been holding them up. It's fine. It's always raining in Wales. Yeah, the dynamic weather would get a good run out, wouldn't it, for a Welsh route? Always late, animal. Always late. They have to go to Bristol. This woman here holding everybody up. She's climbed up. Look at this. Look at her feet. She's hovering. That's brilliant. I don't know how to say that, but I'll give you a guess. Hulven. Is that anything like it? And we have a red there, so are we waiting for somebody else? Or are we just late? I don't see anything else. Let's just have a quick look down here. Gotta wait for the signal to change. So, what are we actually waiting for? Is anybody in that platform? No, he's gone. Hopefully, we haven't broken it. Good evening, SG. How are you doing? Is there a battery switch to turn off the locomotive completely? Yeah, there will be. It's probably the batteries are probably on the back wall somewhere. Usually on the back wall. It's the gear selection. Wheel slip protection, unless it's down here. Yeah, not sure SG where it is. There will be one. That's where you turn the engines on or off. Yeah, not quite sure where it is. Let's check this map again. Unless we're waiting for something that is further up here, but we shouldn't be. We should be able to get to that section. Could be broken, you know. We'll give it a minute. This is what happens if you run a service and you're slightly late. So I can't get past that because I need the signal to change. This is great, this. I wonder if that's particular to this train or whether it's doing it on this route. I can't remember because I've not run on this route for some time. Got one on the back as well, look. So there's nothing between us and our next destination, which kind of leads me to believe that this is broken, which could be because I was 5 or 6 minutes late arriving. It could have messed with the timetable a little bit, which is a pain. I don't think, yeah, broke it. Yeah, I don't think we're going anywhere particularly fast. So, how long have we been streaming? About 1.75 hours. So, I reckon, given that it's broken on us, I think we'll call it a night. So, that's a bit of a pain, isn't it? But listen, thank you for coming in. The DLC's out tomorrow. You will, once again, you will need Hamburg, Lübeck if you want to run this DLC. That is the base route that you will need. I was going to say it does run on other routes. Well, it does, but not quite on this route, not this service. But it helps if you're on time. That is what will have screwed it up, I'm sure, because there's nothing in front of us, unless I am so late that I have got to wait quite a long time for the next one to come from the other end. It could be that. I might just need to be very, very patient, which I guess is what would happen in real life, wouldn't it? So yeah, the DLC is out tomorrow. If you're in the UK, I think it's out on consoles at about 10 AM. That is usual release date, and then PC is a little bit later in the day. But yeah, if you do pick it up, let me know what you think. As always, thanks for joining me. Have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, and bye for now.